All right, Curtis Davis, Conversations in C minor here. Everyone knows I'm a huge Zeppelin fan, so I'm gonna talk about the '80s solo stuff, material that they had in the '80s, and I was a huge fan of that as well. Start off with Robert Plant's first solo album with Robbie Blunt on guitar, who's one of my favorite guitarists from the '80s. I mean, come on, man, you got to listen to this album. Pictures at 11, 1982. Got Slow Dancer on it. Burning Down One Side, Moonlight in Tommaso. And he had Phil Collins help him produce this album on a couple of tracks of this album as well. And it's a great sounding album. I like it. You got some people who don't like the Zeppelin material because they expect it to sound like Zeppelin, but it's a little bit Zeppelin-y, but, I still like the album. And also that year, oh man, Jimmy Page, Death Wish 2. Anybody know this album? Yeah. Jimmy Page got the Who's to Blame, The Chase, City Sirens. He played some of this stuff, live material at the Arms concert, and as well as the Firm as well. He played some of the stuff when he got the Firm together. He put some of this stuff on stage with him. But this is a good album. It's okay. It's instrumental. You got to be in the mood to hear it and listen to it. And I haven't listened to it in a long time, but I've had this album since 1985. The next Robert Plant solo album came out in 1983. Principles of Moment with Big Log, The Other Arms. Again, Robbie Blunt's guitar playing on this is really awesome. Through with two-step, Stranger Here Than Everywhere. And of course, Big Log, like I said, In the Mood is another hit on this album. Anybody remember this here? Turtles, Build My Hills on Atlanta Road, back in the 80s. Yeah, I got this from there. But this is another one of his albums that I like a lot. And so again, some people, I mean, it's 80s sounding, don't sound like Zeppelin. In some ways it does. In some instances it does. It touches of Zeppelin. But I love Robert Plant solo because I love his voice. It's about his voice anyway. So his voice is amazing. But this is a great record he did. Oh, the Honey Drip was 1984 with Sea of Love. It was a big hit. I Get a Thrill, Young Man, Young Boy Blues, Rockin' at Midnight. This is a good album. And it just the Honey Drip was a cover album of 50s and 60s blues and certain things, tracks. There's a Ray Charles cover on here, and I love this album. I bought it in '85, and I loved it since I've had it. And then in 1985, Robert Plant came out with his third solo album with the Robbie Blunt, membership on guitar. It was the last one he did with those guys, Shaken and Stirred. And I remember Turtles. Got Little by Little on here. Sixes and Sevens is another track on here. Hip to Hop is a song on here as well. It's funny. But this is a good album. It's like I said, it's an 80s sounding album. You got to be in the mood for it. And if you put it on thinking you about to hear Zeppelin 1, it's not that. It's something completely different. John Paul Jones came out with a solo album in '85, and I was probably the only person that bought a copy of it. And here it is. Soundtrack, Scream for Help. And there he is on the back. It's like a mostly instrumental album. It's okay, got Spaghetti Junction on it. Chili sauce. So I like it. Crack back. And it's pretty cool. And of course, Jimmy Page came out with The Firm with Paul Rodgers on lead vocals, Tony Franklin on bass, and who was on drums? Chris Slade on drums. The Firm, Radioactive was a hit. Closer is a great song. Make or Break is a great song. Song to the Love, Money Can't Buy, Satisfaction Guaranteed. This is another album from the 80s that people forget about, but it's a great album. I like it. I still love it, and I listen to it on a regular basis. I have listened to it a long time, but I listened to it on a regular basis years ago. Um, it's a great record. Then the firm came out with another album, 1986's Mean Business, which has a cover of Paul Rodgers on one of his, Live in Peace, a song that Paul Rodgers wrote. Fortune Hunter, Cadillac is great. Tear Down the Walls. This is a great album. I don't know why they didn't stay together. I think they should have stayed together. I, they decided to break up. I guess Paul Rodgers wanted to get back with Bad Company and things like that, and wanted to be solo. Page wanted to get back with Plant again, wanting to do a solo album, which he did. The Outrider solo album. After that, here it is. Jimmy Page's Outrider. Man, wasting my time. Want to make love. Rights a Winner. The only one. I saw this tour in 1988 as well when the album came out at the Omni. And I was in there trembling and shaking, man, because Page was jamming his ass off that night, 1988 at the Omni, Atlanta. Anybody remember that show? Anybody? Anyway, this is from that tour. This is the album he had out at tour. And he played Yardbirds, Zeppelin, and the stuff. And stuff from the Death Wish 2 soundtrack as well. Robert Plant came out with this fourth solo album at that time. 1988, Now Zen with Heaven Knows, Tall Cool One, and Sips of Fools. Man, this is a great record. I like it. And Zeppelin, at that time, everybody was wanting them to get back together. They had got together at Live Aid in 1985. They had played, did some stuff at the Atlantic 40th anniversary in 88. And people really wasn't giving their solo stuff that much attention because everybody was expecting for Zeppelin to get back together, but they never did. But again, this is about Zeppelin solo material in the 80s. Curtis Davis, Conversations in C minor. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. And tell me what you want me to talk about. And we'll see about it. We'll talk. I'll look into it. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe on YouTube. I love you all. Thank you.